Good morning. Today's hot drink will be brought to you by Jetboil. Yay! So it's a Tales from the Shed. Tales from the Shed. Tales from the Shed with your host, Des Cattys. Morning folks, how you doing? It's Des Cattys, and stay tuned for another episode of Tales from the Shed. Tales from the Shed. Tales from the Shed with your host, Des Cattys. Morning folks, how you doing? It's well, you know who I am if you've been watching them by now. Gonna mix it up today and use a Jetboil. I've been using tranches, I've been using mess fuel all week. So it'll only be nice now just to mix it up and get one of my Jetboils out. One of my Jetboils, I've got two. I've got a zip, and I've got, this is the zip, and then I've got the original one. This, for some reason, I'm having techno fear right now, and I can't screw the burner onto the gas canister. So yeah, so we're going to have a brew. It's a bit of a sad day today for me, actually. Unfortunately, I'm going to be doing some decorating, so it's, you know, it's only right, I suppose. So I'm going to be doing a bit of painting. All right, so when you see me tomorrow, if I manage to put an episode up tomorrow, which I'll obviously try, I might be a little bit angry because I don't like DIY. I don't like painting, I don't like anything like that. I can sit in my shed all day and carve spoons and make things when I go camping and such like. But when it involves doing something indoors, don't really find the incentive to do it. But my wife is very patient, and she's not one for ordering me to do stuff. She's pretty tolerable, so it only seems fair that if I do it off my own back, then it's obviously brownie points, and it keeps me chilled and stressed, less stressed out as much, and finally then it keeps Mrs. C happy as well. So yeah, so right, bear with me folks while I just do the old usual thing and get a brew on. It's probably not the bestest place to be lighting this, really, is it, inside a shed? Oh, let's turn the gas out a bit more. Oh, for God's sake, and that's cold as well now. Let's open it up a bit more. So this morning I'm having a Nescafe double choc mocha Darjeeling. Now you can hear Barney whinging right now, right as I said it, you can hear Barney having a pop at me right now. It's steaming away. If I leave this going any longer, I could sit in here, take all my clothes off, which you probably wouldn't like to see anyway, and I could have like a sauna in here, couldn't I? How pucker would that be? Maybe that could be another sort of Tales from the Shed sort of project. Well, that certainly makes light of it, doesn't it? Using the old Jetboil for a brew. So how's it going, folks? What have you been up to? Been at work, been at home, playing in the garden with your kids, or playing with yourself, or whatever? And I don't mean that in a, you're so smutty, you people. I mean carving and all that sort of thing. You know what I mean? Sometimes your minds amaze me. Anyway, so how's it going? Well, yesterday for me, what I'd done was I was getting a bit sort of like, I weren't getting bored, because you know what I mean, always trying to keep yourself sort of in a positive mode. It's not easy, but you know, you've got to keep trying, haven't you? And yeah, so I found a bit of bone yesterday in knocking around in my shed, and I kind of give it a tap with a mallet, and it kind of shattered everywhere and all the rest of it. But what I did have a go at, that's my first sort of attempt at making some sort of, you know, sort of a sharp implement with a piece of bone. And I actually found it easier than flint knapping. I think flint knapping is an absolute wonderful skill, and yeah, I have made a few bits over time, but it's not like you know, sort of Will Lord standard or anything like that. It literally is just something that I fell upon because when I've hit the flint, it's just broken off and something's appeared, and I've been able to try and work with it, which is pretty much what I've done with this bone yesterday. But it's actually it was actually a bit easier to work with. I basically just used a file, so it was kind of a bit of modern meets primitive, I suppose. And that's the first thing I've made out of bone. And then over time I've got some more bits knocking around, and I'll have a go at making some more stuff, I suppose, because it's just, you know, it's just one of those little projects, isn't it, I suppose. So how's it been going with you folks? Hey, what you been up to? Please share your comments. I know everyone's bigging it up, saying they love it. It's, you know, some people were saying they want it to take over the 6 o'clock news in the evening. Would I really want to work for the BBC? Nah, I like doing it like this. It's easier, isn't it? So yeah, so I think in today's one we're going to do some more knots. I think because again, some of the knots really, you know, knots are knots at the end of the day. It's like I said in one of the previous, yesterday, or the last episode I did, was you know, if you're not that sure about knots, then just tie an overhand knot and tie it several times. But it was nice getting some feedback from people about certain knots, about the constrictor knot, about the bowline and such like. So it's brilliant, you know, sort of maybe some bits that I take for granted. It's nice to share with you people, and then maybe just give it from Des Cattys' angle and just show you how I do it, or how I can maybe make it a little bit simpler to explain and demonstrate, and then hopefully you can adopt the same. You know, at the end of the day, you want to make that knot. Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to do a few more knots today as well. And I'm not going to go over the top with knots because they're, you know, I only use a certain amount, unless you're someone that climbs a lot, or maybe you are someone that likes to use a variety of different knots within your bushcraft and your outdoor experiences. But for me, I only use a certain few, and some of them are ones that I showed you, that I've been showing you, and another few that I'll show you today. All right, so we'll come back in a bit. I've seen on Instagram that people are doing quite a bit of carving. There's some lovely spoons out there. The shapes of some of them spoons are gorgeous. Is it Tank Outdoors? Done a lovely spoon. Love how he got the shape of that. I can never get my shape of my spoons like that. Or not, you know, I probably don't try that hard really. I just sort of make a spoon, throw it in my box, and that's it really. But you know, as I say, please let us know what you're getting up to. You know, if you are sort of doing any little projects or anything, or if any of my projects or any of the stuff, any of my little bits from Tales from the Shed are inspiring you to get out in your gardens and into your sheds and all that sort of stuff, then please let me know, as you do. So let's get the ball rolling with another one. Okay, so now what you want to do is you want to join two pieces of cord together that are of different diameters, and this is basically called a sheet bend. So what you do is you create a loop. You've got your trailing end of your cord, just fold that over and create a loop or half a loop. All right, then this end, your piece that you want to join onto comes through there like so, passes round the back there like that, and then it goes through there like that and connects onto there like so. All right, and the reason why that's designed the way it is that it obviously makes it easier for you to be able to dismantle it and take it apart. So I'll show you again. So we've got our thicker piece of cordage, we create a loop near the end. All right, then this comes, the thinner one comes up through the top, or thicker one, whatever it is you're using. I tend to use the thicker one to create the loop, and then the thinner one to actually tie into. So like so, and then passes round the back of those two like so. All right, and then that one goes through there, and then pull it tight. All right, and even under tension now, right, if we pull them quite tight, it's still easier to take them apart. All right, so that's the sheep bend. So I'll quickly show you once more, the third time. So that's, you form your loop, your thinner bit comes up through there, passes round the back, and then goes through there like so. All right, so that's your sheep bend. Okay, and that knot really is used for joining two lengths of cordage that are of different diameters. Right, the next one I'm going to show you is a Marlin spike hitch, and really that one's, you can use it for quite a few things. I've used it in my I've used it for sort of like just hanging my rucksack off the floor, for example. And for this you obviously need a length of cord. Okay, in one end out of the picture I've tied a bowline into it. Then what you can do is obviously wrap it around the tree and slip your trailing end through the loop, which I'll take it off and show you. So there's the so there's our bowline. We've already made the bowline. If you can imagine, that's your tree now, like that piece of hazel. Then what happens is that all goes through there, you trail that through, and then you'll be working more from the top end. Now what I've done, I've obviously, you can imagine now, I've just connected it to my vise at the top. So this length of hazel is going to be my spike. All right, now what you need to do with this is how I do it, is place your hand flat against there like that. Okay, grip it, and then literally just turn it up one. Okay, so you form a loop. Let's bring it down a bit further so you can see it on the camera. All right, so my hand goes there like so. Okay, flips around like that. Okay, goes over the top of your end that's here. Okay, pull it through. So you basically kind of create a slip knot. Take your fingers out, place your spike in there, and then pull it tight. And then there's your that's your Marlin spike hitch. Okay, and then when you finish with it, you literally just take your spike out, pull that like so, the knot disappears, and then you can wrap up the cordage as normal. Right, so let's show you once more. I'm really trying to keep it in the camera as best I can. Okay, so we place our hand like so. Okay, create a loop like that over the top of your cord that's coming down here. Let's bring it down a bit further so you can see it. All right, so there's our loop, and then just pull it through there like so. All right, place your spike in there, and then pull it tight. Okay, almost like a slip knot really. And then once you're finished, just pull that through, the knot disappears, and then you can hang up your cordage. All right, I hope that's coming through very as clear. I'll show it once more just to make sure. So my hand goes like so. Okay, like that, to create a loop. Then it goes over the top like that. Bearing in mind now I'm doing this one-handed because I'm holding the camera to try and get as much footage there as I can on that one. There's your loop. Place your spike in there like so, and then pull it tight. Okay, then when you're finished, as I say, just pull it out, pull it, the knot disappears, and then you can do whatever you want with your cordage. Okay, so that's okay. The next knot I want to show you is a knot that seems to sort of like have taken the knot sort of knot world by storm really, and that's the event one. And it's one that I don't use. I never use it, never really use it. I've always got other knots to use, but I'll show you for sort of demonstration purposes anyway. So you'd loop around a tree. Okay, there's your two ends of cordage. So you place one end flat in your hand like so, the next one comes flat on your hand like so. This is the one that's going to be doing most of the work. Then what you need to do then is just basically hold it over your hand like so. All right, then twist it round, grabbing hold of the trailing end, pull it through. Oh, do apologise because it slips out my hand and I'm trying to keep an eye on the camera at the same time. So basically it just goes around there like so. Alright, keeping your hand on there as well just to keep a little bit of tension there. Then that goes round and through there like so. Alright, it's not my favourite, it's the knot. I don't really use it for anything in particular really. So it's like that. That goes over there like so. It twists. Okay, and then that end goes round and through there like so. I suppose it's good for using in winter conditions, and maybe if you've got a herd of reindeer or something like that, and then just literally pull that tight. Okay, and then when you're finished, I mean in there's just a bowline at the moment, and when you're finished you literally just pull it through just like a slip knot, and then it undoes. Alright, so I'll do it once more. Okay, do you think not? I'll never use it personally. And who knows, I might even have got it wrong. I don't think I have. So it's just a matter of both the bits, both the lengths of cordage are in your hand. This is the one that's going to, the one on the right is going to be doing most of the work. So that comes over the top like so. Twist your hand round. Okay, and then that comes through there like so. All right. So then that's the one that was on the right does all the work, really. Okay. And then when you finish with that one again, just pull that through and it acts like a slip knot. Okay, so that's the event knot. So, and then the last knot I'm going to show you in my arsenal, or the one that we use, is a taut line hitch. Now I think I've done actually a video of this on its own, but I'll show you again just for the matter. So we go around a tree like so. In this case it's just my vise, right? So this is the end that's going to, this is the side that's going to do all the work. So literally all you do here is just coil it through once, or pass it through once to create a loop, like so. Almost like the start of an overhand knot. Okay, then what you do is you pass it through again inside that loop to create a second loop. Alright, and then it comes round the front there like so, and through there. And then you pull it tight, and that is your taut line hitch. Okay, now I'll show you that one again. What you got, one way of remembering it is two in, one out. Okay, so we've got our lengths of cordage like so. Right, so we pass that through there, then we pass it through again, like so. Alright, and then finally you have one on the outside that you can go all the way through. But what I like to do is actually make it like a slip. So you basically create a kind of like a slip knot there. So you've still got your knot in place. Alright, but then again when you finish with it you just pull it through, undo it, and then it's easier to obviously, you know, hank your cordage up. So I'll show you once more. So it goes around the tree, or around the vise in this instance. Okay, remembering that this one's going to be doing all the work. I'm right-handed, so this obviously is, you know, if you're left-handed then it goes the other way. Alright, so we pass that through there like so. Alright, we then do it again. Okay, and then to finish off it comes through on the outside. So you can either do one or two things. You can either just loop it like that so it bites onto the knot, or you can pass it all the way through. It's totally up to you, but I do prefer to have it more like just a loop, so I can then just use it as like a quick release. Okay, so there you go, taut line hitch. Now, if I was to be honest, when I'm using my knots for, you know, putting up a tarp, a poncho, or whatever it is, I don't like to waste my cordage if I can help it. So what I will do is whenever I tie knots or anything like that, in the back of my mind, I always have it as a mindset that I always put some kind of slip into my knot, unless it's something that I want to take under real tension, and even then you can still get round it. I always try and put a slip into my knots so that I know at the end of them I can all unravel them, hank the ropes up and put them away. Okay, which finally leads me on to the final one I want to do, and that is showing you how to hank cordage. Again, I've got a video up on my channel somewhere showing you how to hank cordage. Okay, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to do it completely from scratch. I think one of my real early videos is showing you how to hank rope or hank cordage of some sort. Okay, so basically what you need is your hand. You can do it one or two ways. You've got obviously use your thumb and your forefinger, your thumb and your little finger as the reel. Now you can do it in one or two ways here. You can either pass it through the middle of your finger there and pinch it, okay, and then start your hank, okay, passing it around there like so in sort of like a figure of 8. All right, you kind of get the picture of that one. Or rather than passing it through between your two middle fingers, as it were, between them two, the other way to do it is literally just past that, so you've got it just past your palm of your hand. All right, and then carry it on that way. And then what I'll do is we'll just do it like this for now. I'll carry on hanking it up. All right. And all this does really is just keeps your rope from snagging up when you go to use them to put your tarps up and such like. It keeps the rope tidy. I mean, at the moment, look, I've got a bit of a bird's nest here at the bottom. So obviously it kind of avoids those variables, those eventualities, because the last thing you're doing, if it's peeing down with rain and all the rest of it and you're trying to get your shelter up, the last thing you want to be doing is sorting out a bird's nest of cordage. Alright, which for me, I've kept it pretty much unravelled anyway, so it's okay. And then what I do is normally get to sort of like 2 or 3 foot from the end. Okay, I'll take it off my fingers and then pinching it there. What you can then do is, keeping it nice and tight, is wrap it tightly around your hanked cordage. Alright. Now some people will show you how to clove hitch it and so on and so forth, but what I like to do is basically just sort of put my index finger under there like so, and then just grab the trailing end of the cord and then pull it through like that. And then I've still got the camera's picking it up, so I'm looking at my phone as well at the moment, and then it literally is just a matter of when you want to use it, it's just pull it out there, unravel your cordage and carry on. Some people will also show you another way where they do it the other way, where they can pull out their the trailing end, which normally works better if you do that from when you put it between your index finger, which I'll quickly demonstrate to you. Because if you've not done it before, okay, so as I say, we put it between our 2 middle fingers, as it were, like so, have that bit trailing out. Now if we was doing like a rapid ridge line, okay, what we'd need to do, you'd have your bow line in there at one end, because that's the end that's going to go around the tree. So I'll quickly tie a bow line into it. Right, so that's our loop, that's the bit at the end, and then remember you'd have your series of prusik knots on there as your cordage of prusik loops. Okay, so that goes through your finger like that, like so. Okay, then obviously hank it up as you normally would, which I kind of think is a better way doing it like this, and rather leaving your cordage sort of bound up and then pulling it from the middle. Kind of keeps it tidier. Okay, then when I've got about sort of 3 or 4 foot from the bottom, again just holding it like so, wrap it round there, and then either apply your clove hitch or just a normal slip in there. This might be sort of just out of the picture, I think it's just at the bottom of the video there. And then when I want to use it, I can literally just pay it out like so, which is kind of a nice sensible way of doing it as well. I think quite neat really. Okay, right folks, so that's it really. That's all I'm really going to do for the knots. I could maybe try and do the trucker's hitch, but it's a matter of using something, you know, using something off my shed to do it. But you know, I won't bother. So there's the knots. So that's it for knots, folks. I hope you hope they were beneficial to you. You know, so give you something else to practice. So I'm literally just going to unravel all this and do it and tidy it up myself off camera. All right. So there it is for today, folks. Another exciting episode of Tales from the Shed. Please keep your comments coming, and I really appreciate your support as usual. If you don't already know, my badges are now available if you wish to purchase one. The information is on the community page on my YouTube channel. Alright, so please do a bloke a favour and maybe purchase a badge. Show the support and the love to Des Cattys channel. Alright, so that's it, folks. So hopefully I'll see you tomorrow after my session today of painting. And that's it, folks. So as usual, please stay safe, both yourselves and your families, during these sort of these kind of challenging times, as it were. Alright, stay safe. Des Cattys signing out, and I'll see you on the flip side. Tales from the Shed. Tales from the Shed. Tales from the Shed with your host, Des Cattys. So take care, folks. Stay safe. Des Cattys signing out, and I'll see you on the flip side. Take care.